Welcome to Stitch and Stuff. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Kim.
And we're glad you're joining us today again to talk about our stitching and other stuff. And if you're new here, welcome. We are happy that you're here.
Thanks for giving us a view.
Yeah. So, how are you this week? How do we usually start this?
Chat. How am I this week? I just told you, not very happy about our new dictates. Just so you all know, I'm going to put it out there right now. Our state is in lockdown again. So yeah, I'm just not a very happy camper about that today, but I'm trying to make the best of it. And I'm going out to the store today before everything locks up tomorrow night.
No.
And get some birthday shopping done for a little girl that is having a birthday soon.
2 days.
I know. So
Rosie. Yeah. It's sunny here, so it's really pretty. It's windy and kind of cold.
Yeah.
But not cold.
Windy and rainy here. And I did, by the way, thank you for everybody's good wishes. We had a really beautiful time at the ocean. It was definitely, COVID ocean trip because there are, things. But the hotel we stayed in, I felt like really managed things. I feel really bad because I don't know what's going to happen to them now for the next 4 weeks. But they did, we didn't have maid service come in, so nobody came into our room. We were in our room a lot when we were out on the beach. We ate in a couple of restaurants was actually one restaurant we went to is a small little fish and chip place that a guy owns. We've been going there for years, and he had expanded his restaurant a little bit a few years ago, so it's a little bit bigger, but he actually did have, and I haven't seen this very much. Well, we haven't really eaten in restaurants very much here at home. We just usually get takeout, but he had plexiglass around, many booths. So I didn't feel unsafe really at all. I didn't feel any more unsafe there than I do at going to the grocery store or something. I mean, I felt like they really took protocols. And so, yeah, we were on the beach and we had a gorgeous day. The one full day we were there was sunny. It was a little bit windy. I think Dad was colder than I was. And we got to walk the beach and take pictures, and it was relaxing. I was telling Sarah before we started recording, I think I said last week too, I might not have much stitching because I don't stitch that much when I go on trips.
Yeah.
But I did actually get quite a bit of stitching done. Especially one day we were kind of just chilling out, and Dad was watching some movies on TV, and I was at the little table in our room, and I had my little lamp, and it was great. So I have a lot to show you.
You brought your little lamp with you.
Brought my little lamp with me.
You were going to bring it with you or something last time.
I figured why not? I just put it back in its box and just throw it in my tote bag. I mean, it would be hard to fly anywhere with that lamp. I would never take it. Yeah, but it worked out really great. So here we are.
Jealous. We haven't been for a little while. So
it had been longer than I thought for us. I think the last time Dad and I went together was 2 years ago. I thought we had gone last year, but we didn't because we were in Minnesota right now for Grandma's funeral.
Right. Yeah, that's weird. That feels like so long ago.
I know.
I think we went camping at the ocean a year ago last September.
Yeah.
And so we've been a little more recently than I was thinking, but it's also kind of different to camp at the ocean than to go to the ocean. But it was still nice and relaxing, but I would have loved to get
I think like so many people, just the waves and everything is just so calming and relaxing, and it was just good. Felt good to get away a little bit and not have any pressures, not have any, now tomorrow I go back to work and it will be a different story because the work piled up. I can see it in my email. So I'm ignoring that today.
I'm already hearing the rumblings of bickering about who's going to go first.
Okay, who's going first? Mama gets to decide.
We forgot to talk about it ahead of time. So I already decided it's Liddy because she was sitting peacefully and not fussing.
Yay, Liddy! You're the winner.
He's in right here.
And Liddy, I promise, tomorrow Poppy will mail your Harry Potter project to you. We're on vacation and I just didn't get my act together, but it will come to you in the mail this week.
This girl's got a birthday this week. How old are you turning?
I'm not
turning 2?
No, it's my birthday.
Oh, I remember when you were 2. You were so sweet.
My birthday's in 2 days, but I'm turning 11.
11. Not 2 ones. You're turning this many. 1 1.
Not this many, this many.
11 already this week.
Not this many.
And it's already this week? Oh.
Tuesday.
2 days.
It's exciting. And I know what you're getting for your birthday.
Yeah, we told her it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be exciting.
Talk all about it next week. Huh?
I guess
We'll talk about what you got for your birthday.
Yeah. So you've been working on pot holders?
Yes. Don't kick over my water.
And by the way, I love that sweater you have on. That is really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want one like it.
She's got this cute handkerchief skirt on. This cute top. Your outfit is cute today. She had on a really cute outfit the other day when we were at Josiah and Titus's. What were you wearing? I forget. You had on a red and black.
Oh, red and black.
Oh, navy blue. Isn't it navy blue?
No.
Like a plaid gingham. It was more like a gingham. What do you call that? Lumberjack print. You know what I mean?
Check?
Yeah, I guess it's buffalo check. Yeah, it was buffalo check.
Yeah.
But not red and black. It was.
Yes, it was red.
Isn't it red and navy blue? Oh, red and black. But then with it, she had this cute puffy vest.
Oh.
Your blue vest with the flowers over it and jeans. Oh, it was super cute.
You're growing up and you're picking out cute clothing combos, huh?
All by yourself. Anyway.
Yeah.
So
okay.
yeah, we've been working hard on
Sparkling.
Oh yeah, they do.
Oh. Wish I could lift my leg up that way, but that would be a sad thing.
I just heard it.
I'm working on it in ballet. Kind of unsuccessfully. Are you doing a pattern with this? Like
yeah.
blue, orange, yellow, green, blue, orange, yellow, green, red? Blue, orange, yellow.
No.
Is that the good loom that comes off easily?
Yes. Yeah, this is the
one
easier
with
one.
the little dog.
Yeah.
So they've been putting these out. I'll give her just a flash of the other thing that both she and Millie were working on because I'm going to show them again later. This is the giveaway for today. Cute.
No, eat it. Show the good one.
Well, show them again.
2, 3. I'll show them again more in detail when we do our giveaways.
But
They're
can't we
cute.
do it while we're here?
Nope, we'll do it later.
So you haven't stitched on anything else? You didn't stitch on anything else this week? Oh, just pot holders.
One of the giveaways, and then I made another set of looms. These
Pot holders?
Yeah, but I can't find them.
Well, they're here somewhere. Do you want to keep it a secret what you made them for?
Yes.
Okay. Someone who's watching might be receiving some.
Oh, okay. We don't want to give away any secrets.
No. So there's another set. So she's been pumping those out. And Millie's been doing those too. Okay. Let's do Rosie next. Well, you're still working on your knitting. Go around and come over. Somebody
Make
asked
a ring light, huh?
Somebody today at church asked me, do your girls get along? And I was like, yes. Sometimes.
In what way?
What?
In what way do they get along?
What do you mean get along? Because they get along the way that like regular children get along. They're not like arch enemies or.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye, sweetie. I love you.
Rosie made one too.
Oh, nice job, Rose. Should I call you Rose from now? No? RJ?
I guess.
Yeah, Poppy likes to call you RJ. My dad. That's cute. It turned out cute. Did you stitch anything this week?
I helped. Yes.
Yes, actually.
Those are very cheerful colors you did.
I like that blue, yellow, green.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't finished.
Millie helped her get it off the thing, is what she's saying.
She's the heart.
Okay, we're working
She's the heart.
still on the elephant, which I cannot find the picture, but that's okay because we've seen it so many times that you all know what it's going to look like and it's almost done. So
What if they're new?
if you're new, Rosie's been working on this a while. Is this your first? No, this isn't your first cross stitch.
No.
You did the kitty.
And then
the
the
turtle.
turtle.
So this is her third.
And then
Show it.
my elephant.
Here's the elephant. Wait, pull it over. Here's the camera up here. So put it, there you go.
Oh, you're almost done. Oh, down a little bit. There you go. You're almost done.
What's
Just have the
left?
butterfly. I have to back stitching and the butterfly, which is 13 stitches. I counted.
The butterfly 13 stitches only. You're really close.
You're really close. You should have a finish next week.
I don't want to do the back stitching. It doesn't look like it needs the back stitching.
Yeah, well, maybe Mama will help you with the back stitching.
Yeah, the tail is back.
Oh, well, we can talk about it later.
Just the tail. I want to do just the tail.
Oh, the tail is back stitched. She doesn't have a tail without the back stitching.
Just want to do the tail.
Okay, well, we can talk about that later.
The butterfly is back stitching.
The thing about back stitching, and maybe somebody watching this doesn't know either, is that what it will do is make this really stand out from the fabric. It will make it look a little rounder rather than jagged up here.
Yeah.
Also, it will make the ears stand out and the heart look more like an actual heart shape at the bottom.
Back stitching, there's not really anything wrong with back stitching.
A lot of people don't really love doing back stitching, but sometimes it's really worth it. I think on this pattern, it would probably really be worth it. At least
I do like back stitching.
Okay, Millie, we have some stuff to show.
Bye, sweetie pie. I love you, Rosie. I love you.
You're making such weird faces today.
She's entering that stage.
I know. Rosie. Okay, here comes Millie.
Okay, Millie.
This Flosstube thing very seriously.
Yeah.
Show this. Okay.
She's probably more serious about it than I am. So.
We're working on stuff for showing on Flosstube. Okay, I guess I better too.
Content.
Okay.
Oh, you're still working on your hat. I still love it. Wow.
Okay, I think it's probably time to start decreasing. I probably need to keep tabs on this. Well, I'll have to show you what you do next to start making it go into a rounded shape. Let's see. Let's put it on. Not losing any stitches, hopefully. Yeah, it's probably about time. So I'll have to teach you how to do that. Here.
Cute. Doing a good job. It looks really good to me, hon.
We have something else big to show.
Two. Something else big? Ooh, she got something big.
Right? Yeah. Okay. How about we move on quickly?
Okay. Wait. This one first.
That's the big finish. This one first.
Okay. I started an owl.
Oh.
Not cute. This was sent to us by somebody. We've had a couple different people send us a few kits like this, so now I'm spacing out who sent this one, but we're so thankful for it. And you're starting the tummy part.
Did that come with everything you needed?
Yep, I think
kit.
It's a kit.
Yeah. Now it has something special.
It's a big finish.
Maybe you should wait till we're at the very end of the video and show it.
We're gonna make you sit there for an hour. No way. No way. You finish your square?
Finish.
Yay! Look at how cute that is.
See the clouds way up there?
Oh, Millie, you did such a good job on that.
All the clouds showing through a little bit here. Maybe we bring it a little closer. This is
what a big accomplishment. Ooh, I can't wait for you to start the next one. It's going to be so cute.
Yeah. I'm doing the fox.
The fox?
Right here. Or the deer.
So this will be.
Are you taking a break? Or are you going to finish your owl first and then go back to this?
That fabric.
This is Tiny Modernist Woodland Friends.
Mama, this fabric has.
Woodland Friends?
Oh, cute. I kind of want to stitch it now.
In case you're new this week.
You had this
was from Just Cross Stitch magazine last 2019 October, I think.
Mamie had
what, sweetie?
Gave it to us, and there was kittens.
Yes.
Fabric.
Yeah, you had started stitching something with a cat on it.
So yeah. Long time ago.
Put that out. Okay, good job.
Part of the quarantine care packages. Fabric. We need fabric. Bye, sweetie. I love you, girls. Bye.
Okay. I found, remember last week how I couldn't find my vault? Yes, you can play with me.
Oh, vault. Oh, I don't think I have any vault.
Guess what I can't find again? I swear it's right here somewhere.
Did you do your co-op class this week?
Yes, I did. It was so fun. It was really sweet. So we spent the first, I can't find it. I'm going to have to like move my body around a little more. We spent the first little bit. I showed them a couple cross stitch finishes, talked about what cross stitch is, showed a little demo on I like drew a graph, not a graph, but like the weave of an Aida fabric on the whiteboard, and showed how you would go up and down with the marker, just showing what they're going to do. And then they all picked out different patterns, which I should have brought in. I'll show those next time. I had put together, one of the nights I didn't stitch at all here so I actually felt like I didn't get as much stitching done as normal, because one of the nights I was kitting up 11. I have 9 girls in the class, but I kitted up like 11 or 12 so that there would be a little extra variety to choose from. And I think I chose like 4 or 5 different patterns. A couple of them I knew would be more, they were like a hedgehog, and it was super cute.
Yeah.
So when I show those, I'll share where I got the free patterns, because I did all free patterns so that I could copy, like that'd be easy to share. And most of the ones I did came from a SAL, like a big free SAL type pattern online, but I'm totally forgetting who or what it is.
Oh yeah, I want to see what for sure. Next week, show us.
So like I put together a kit. I put together like 3 kits of the hedgehog piece of that stitch along, and then 3 of there's a flower and a butterfly motif, and then 3 of a rabbit. So I kind of put together several of those because I kind of thought the girls would choose those. And then I did one of a separate pattern that I found for free somewhere, butterfly and an apple, and everybody got what they wanted. Then they all started working on separating threads, threading needles, because some of them hadn't done that. A lot of them had. A couple of the girls had already done a little cross stitch before.
Yeah.
Started.
They got it going?
In the middle of the fabric. I have 2 other moms helping me, which is so great, because I feel like that is just the right number of hands for 9 little girls. And then several of them got in like 10 to 12 stitches, and all 3 of my girls are in that class, and they already know how to do this, so they were pretty independent and kind of got themselves going. So we had Thursday, and it was really sweet and really fun.
So in case you didn't catch what I asked, so Sarah's girls are in a little co-op, and a homeschool co-op, and she's teaching a needlework handicraft class this quarter. Or is it all year?
It's supposed to be the whole year. Who knows what it'll be like because of COVID, but yeah, so we started with cross stitch, and then I'm going to teach them how to knit, and then I think I'm going to do tin punching, then knitting, and then weaving, like some basic weaving. And that's probably going to take us through the end of the year.
Anyway, well, that's cool.
So that was so fun. It was really sweet. So we had our first class on Thursday. We haven't really been able to meet up till now through the school year because of COVID. So, so that was really fun. Trying to think if there's anything else about that to say. It was good. I really enjoyed it. I do really like teaching. I like teaching people how to knit and do things like that. So this is my From the Vault, and it's not framed. And this is a joint finish here that you and I. So you had done almost all of this, or a good amount of it, and then passed it to me last year, 2 years ago maybe.
Yeah. Why did I do that?
It might have been last year. I don't know. Maybe you were still kind of thinking, I'm not really going to stitch again. Maybe it was kind of before you started stitching again.
I kind of lost my, I got going and I was stitching for like a year off and on. And then I kind of lost my mojo last fall.
Yeah.
I was really entrenched in knitting and didn't really, I don't think I really stitched. Maybe it was during that time. I think I was frustrated with my eyes, and
You hadn't gotten your magnifier, I don't think, yet.
Maybe.
Really done much with that, and so I think you were cleaning out all your stuff. I don't even remember how much of this I did and how much of it you did. I honestly can't remember.
I do remember giving it to you, and I think I was kind of like, okay, and maybe I was thinking, if I do stitch, I've got so many new patterns that I won't go back to this. I love it. I think it's really pretty, and
it is really
pretty. What was was that in a magazine?
Yeah, I'll have to find it. I actually just saw somebody else talking about this, that they didn't know where it was found. It was like From the Vault. And I can't even remember which Flosstuber that was. It was somebody. Really? I'll have to go back through my history of like watch who it was watching because I said I would tell them what the magazine was
Yeah.
because I still have it downstairs in my like crafty room stuff, but I don't remember now. So I'll find it. If I find it, I'll post it in the comments.
I think it's, and I'm thinking about this, and I think it's really interesting, and I wonder if other people go through this. I don't think you really do. You seem to be pretty steady. But when I say that I just didn't stitch last winter and fall, I just knit. And I think part of it is because it's more comforting to me because it's easy. I can just do it. You know, most patterns are easy. But then when we were in quarantine the first time, I didn't knit at all. I didn't knit for like 3 or 4 months. All I did was stitch. And so I feel like I've got a nice balance going now. It's still hard. I wish I had more hours to do both, but I feel like maybe now I feel more stable in my stitching. I don't know. That's a weird word to put it to, but
fun whips that it's easy to kind of pick and choose from maybe, or
yeah, maybe that's it. There is a sense of accomplishment. I do really like finishing.
So I think you had kind of a community around knitting at the time, but not really one around cross stitching too much because you were just starting to watch some Flosstubes and stuff. But
yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, and then my knitting community kind of fell apart. So a lot of the gals that I used to knit with, Dad and I were just talking. They all have retired, and husbands have retired, and they've moved or they're traveling half the year. They're in other states for winter. And also in my knitting group that we were together for a long time, we did a lot of fun things. We did yarn trips, you know, took the train down to Portland and did yarn crawls up here. I mean, all kinds of things. We were always doing activities. Of the group that was together most of the time, only 2 of us were really hardcore knitters, and it was Donna and I. The other ones knit, and they were there for the social aspect, and they, you know, but they weren't as in love with it, I guess is the word. They liked it, and they probably did love it, but I don't think they're knitting now. I think they've let that go as part of I don't see them talking about knitting anymore. So that was
kind of unimaginable because it's something that you just love so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, things change. It was one of those happy times of my life, though. We had a lot of fun. Yeah. That you don't think are ever going to end. You know, we were talking about that too. Looking back on my life, there's episodes of time where things were so good and so calm and fun. And, you know, there was homeschooling years that were that way to me. And you just don't think, oh, this is going to come to an end someday. And then when they do, you're like, oh, I guess they really do mean all good things come to an end. I mean, life changes. And so you just have to find the next good thing, I guess. So, and I think Flosstube and cross stitching has filled that.
In the next good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Your whips?
I can do my whips.
You don't have a ball today, right?
I don't. I didn't grab one. I will have one next week. I didn't get my Thanksgiving stuff down yet. I have a couple little Thanksgiving-y I have fall out, but I have a couple of very specific, you know, kind of Thanksgiving things. And one of them is a cross stitch. Sorry, I'm putting my pop can down. Okay, so my magazine monthly challenge was this cross stitch, and I don't have a good color picture. It's the autumn leaves from November, just cross stitched September, October 2012. I picked this. It's got variegated threads in it. So it's going to be real pretty. And I'm doing it on a 30 count, which is new to me. And I thought it would be a little easier to stitch with just a light over me because I can do 28.
Linen or an even weave?
Huh?
Is it a linen or an even weave? Does it have that unevenness?
Yeah, it's got funny holes in it. What is it? It's a legacy linen.
Okay, 30.
It's uneven weave, but it's a cocoa. I really like the color.
Color.
And so I did work on this a little bit. I worked on it mostly last night. So I got the word whirling done.
Cute.
And the colors are not coming out real great here, but
I like the variegation in the tree branch.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
what is
Pelican Gray.
Oh, I haven't used that, but I've seen patterns like I think I placed that with other like DMCs before, but
So there we go. So this is kind of a plum color.
Oh, okay. It looks kind of more brownish, but I can kind of see the plum.
Yeah, it's my lighting's not good for color today. But yeah, that's all one thing of Pelican Gray. So I did all of this. All of this.
Yeah, because you had just had it started.
I think I had a little bit of this. I started here, I think. I had this and the bird done, I think. I have to backstitch his beak. So it's coming along. It just requires a little more thought, and I don't really understand. I guess it's just small enough that it's just harder. But it's, you know, it's a little bit more finished looking than a 28 count.
You're doing 30 count over 1?
Over 2.
30 count over 2.
2 over 2 on 30 count, yeah. So I worked on that, and I worked on this one, which I had shown last week that I had finished my problem square. And then this week I did all of this.
Is it like your problem child, your problem square?
Yeah, my problem square. And so this is all full coverage in here. So from here down to here basically is going to be white. Up here, there's kind of a beige sky with white snowflakes, just dots, you know, just square snowflakes.
Oh, with dots in them. Okay.
Yeah, like this square here.
Oh yeah, like kind of confetti.
White. Yeah, yeah. So it shouldn't take long.
Is that
I only have
color too? Is that the same color sky on that other square, the top one?
Yeah. Yes, this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On that blue, I just can't get over how pretty that blue is with that.
That's what it's going to look like.
And
so
you're
I only have to go on that one.
You said you're going to take out the word winter and make it white?
I haven't yet. It's still green, but I'm going to.
You're gonna, yeah.
Yeah, I think the white will pop.
Sorry for drinking on camera. I know some people don't like that, but I parched and had McDonald's for lunch, so I feel like my sodium count went like through the roof.
Yep. My mouth gets dry when we talk. So anyway, that was a huge, I did this. I did most of that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In a night. Well, 2 nights, I guess. A part of 2 nights. I didn't stitch monogamously on anything. Well, except for at the ocean, I stitched monogamously on my Things of Autumn.
Oh,
dun, 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 dun. Oh, I'm taking needles out. Ooh.
You're probably so much further than I am on that.
Dun, dun, dun. Oopsie.
Oh, wow. Yes, you are. Oh.
So what I did was what did I do? I did the book with the leaves.
Yeah.
I did the apple.
Yes.
I did the satchel. I'm going to backstitch the latches a second time because it's kind of a gray, but it blends in. You can't see the snaps. I did that leaf, and I did the acorn. I did that acorn last night in about maybe an hour and a half.
So cute.
So I am
pretty.
Yeah, I really it was just so satisfying to just kind of motor through those motifs.
Mm-hmm. It feels so good. Like, oh, look what I did. All of that is done.
I know. Oh, I could start another one.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, and I probably sat there in that hotel room. It's probably a good 3 hours that I did the little leaf book.
Yeah.
And the apple.
Yeah.
And the satchel too. I must have worked on it again that night. I don't remember now. But anyway, that was the big bulk of my stitching. And I think I just was just those 3 things this week. I didn't work on anything else. How about you?
Well, I finished, I'll just show a picture really quick. Let's see, hopefully my model doesn't mind, but they're online. So remember last week I had said I didn't get as much stitching done because I was working on that raccoon hood for my little Etsy shop, and I'm still chuckling that I keep getting these adult orders for something I thought I was making for children. But anyway, so this is not the specific one I stitched, but that's the same thing I just sent off. And then I also got another order for the same basic thing, but another adult hood for a bear, which this isn't a good picture. You know, it basically looks like that with slightly different color ears. So I have been working, I want to finish it completely by bedtime tonight. So then I can send it off, ship it. And So I've been doing.
I like that brown.
I love this. The bear is my favorite. I don't know why it doesn't get ordered more. I almost always get raccoon, which is really cute. The fox is really cute. I made one for Liddy. I'll have her model it sometime. The fox one is so cute. But I don't get that one ordered very often, but I've gotten more of those. And then this is the first bear one I've done other than the model, which I stitched for a little baby. And I love the brown. It's just Lion brand, thick and quick, soft and chunky. So it's not, although it used to be cheap. I bought it at Joann's this week. It used to be like $6 a skein. It was like $9 a skein. So that was, so anyway, that's what I've been working on. I've been knitting in the round, and then I just separated it for the hood to go up and around. So my goal is to have that done. And then I can go on to, I have a friend who's having a baby probably in the next week. I have a baby pattern picked out for a little sweater I want to make for her that I need to get some yarn for. So that's my knitting progress.
I didn't show my knitting progress, but you finish. And then I'll do my knitting. I forgot. I did knit too.
So while we're talking about it, I also worked on Things of Autumn by Alicia Paulson. And I have,
by the way, I'm stalking her every day for the winter one.
Oh, is it coming out soon? I don't.
She said it's going to be coming out soon. Yeah.
I'm sort of slogging through this gold sweater. It's like a lot of stitching. Now that I'm on the body, it's kind of the home stretch because it's just back and forth. But there was a lot more counting for the sleeve, and then I'll go back and do that other sleeve.
And you have the satchel done, and you have the, I'm kind of dreading the wheat because you complained about the wheat a little bit.
The wheat was kind of a pain to stitch, but it looks so cute. It's very.
It is cute. It's beautiful, actually.
I think I just made a mistake once, and then I think I made a different mistake a second time, and so I was kind of irritated. But it was really just my own miscounting. Yeah. Once I got it ripped out and knit with it. And also, she doesn't really specify whether to do 1 or 2 ply for all her back stitching. Her back stitching is not always really well marked. It's just one of those things about her pattern. So I think I started off with 1.
Oh, did you backstitch it in 2 ply?
I think I did because I liked it thicker like that.
That's good to know. I think I'll do it too because it kind of fills that in.
Yeah. The nice thing about if I had done 1 ply would have been that it looked really feathery. So either way, I think it's fine, but I kind of liked it to really show with that 2 ply.
I think the rule is usually if it's not marked, it's 1 ply. That's what I feel like.
That's what I figured. And hers might have specified, and maybe I just didn't like it. Now I'm going to double check that because I don't want to misrepresent her pattern. Every once in a while, I'll look at the picture and it doesn't, or there'll be something back in the photo and it's not marked for what color to use. So I kind of have to.
Well, that's how I felt about those little snaps on the satchel. Is the gray just kind of blended in with just 1 strand. So I'm going to go back over it and do another strand. Maybe I'll do 2 more strands to really make it look chunky. But that's just my personal preference.
I think that's what I ended up doing. I think I did 1 of the strands of the wheat with 1 ply, and I ended up accidentally doing the next strand with 2, and I liked it better, so I went back over and stitched a second just over.
Okay.
I don't see even anything about the wheat. Oh, well, the bow on the wheat. Yeah, so she might not even really specify.
I think if it's not specified, I just assume it's always 1 because I very rarely see 2 strands used for back stitching, but I mean, it does get done.
Yeah, it would be rare. I would assume 1 too.
But I like the way it turned out. I
do too. I think I like it too. I also worked on Merry Monday, I was working on my, what are these called? Snapperland by Bent Creek. All right, take this. So this is the square I'm on.
Oh, that's so cute.
I know. It kind of makes me think of your button up. I often want to call it button up because I think we're both working on these wintry squares.
Snaps and buttons.
Snaps and buttons. Yeah, maybe that's why too, button up. So this is my 3rd square that I've done. And I did all those trees and I finished quite a bit of that white this week.
Cute. It's going to be so cute.
I know. I still need to go back and backstitch this poor guy's orange nose, but I really like this one. I think I like the fabric I'm stitching on. I dyed it. I think I tea-dyed it myself. It was a blue that you had given me. And it doesn't even all that blue. There's just kind of a gray undertone to it now after I coffee tea-dyed it. So I worked on that. Put these over here. And then I also worked one night. I treated myself. I knit on that hood for a while, and then I treated myself to working on this, which I do really like stitching on this. It does feel like a treat. Gathering Eggs by Nora Corbett in, I don't know, some old magazine, but you can also get the pattern in a pamphlet. And I did quite a bit of the dark brown, all that dark brown on the basket I did. And then there's a big chunk of white through here.
I can see it. I can see it now.
Mm-hmm. So it doesn't look like an enormous amount of progress, but really it adds up.
Yeah.
And, okay. Yeah, I guess I did. Every week I think, oh, don't know if I still. And I do have.
Surprising, right? I mean, it's not like we're all out partying in the evenings or something. I mean, really, you're home, other than your knitting.
I know. Lately, the girls haven't gone to bed till 9-ish, 8:30 to 9-ish. And then I usually have to clean up and stuff. Oh, I don't think I worked on this. I don't know why I pulled it. Sorry. The last thing that I worked on to show is from here, this Magic of Christmas to cross stitch. And I've showed this several weeks in a row because it's taking me forever for some reason. Sorry.
Well, once you cut your fabric, didn't it go faster?
Yeah, you'll see I'm making quite a bit of faster progress. So I'm working on the bird. I've showed these multiple weeks.
Uh-huh.
I'll show you. I really could finish this easily this week.
Every time you show something on that book, I feel like I'm going to get off this Flosstube and go pull that book out and pick one and just start it, because I just want to, and I have nothing to do. I need some more projects.
Every time I would get off, I'd think, oh, I'm going to go cut that fabric, and then I never did. So I know how it feels. Here, let me put something behind it. Kind of not working very well, but.
Oh, yeah. Oh, cute.
So I really just have a few things left. There's a little bit here and a little bit around here, and then the back stitching. But
and you know, those patterns are a prime example of why back stitching can matter.
Yeah, I should show it to her. Well, I can't show it to her because she's getting it.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, here's a sample. So since we were talking about this, on this, they would just be blobs of brown. Yeah. And you wouldn't get the ribbing of the mushroom and
their tails. I mean, it just certain kinds of styles of patterns really, really need it.
Yeah. This would be an example of one that really needs it. And so once, well, yeah, you can even see the mama bird. Before I did all that back stitching, it just was kind of like square dots on a page.
Exactly.
So I love it when back stitching makes things pop like that. I don't love back stitching, although I don't really mind it that much.
I've never minded it. I was surprised when I started watching Flosstubes and people were complaining about back stitching, and I thought, oh, I never even really thought, because everything we stitched back in the 80s had back stitching.
Yeah,
that was the style. So it just was part of my learning experience. Yeah, and it was just part of the whole experience in general. So yeah, I mean, it is nice when there isn't any. I mean, it does go faster, but
it can add a lot to a project.
Yeah,
have it.
I also depend on the project, but I do now try to do back stitching as I go. Like if I finish a certain section.
Yep. That's made a big difference for me too. It's kind of like doing my borders as I go as well. I kind of do a little border here, a little border there. That really makes borders more palatable to me.
Yeah. Is that what you worked on? I'll show my knitting.
Yeah, that's what I worked on.
Okay. So because we were at the beach, I have to knit. I have to knit when I go on a beach trip. It's just, so I started a sock head hat.
Oh yeah.
By Kelly McClure. Cute. Not a very good picture. Let me see. A free pattern. Oh. And I don't have the right hairstyle for a really tight beanie. I mean, I've knit some hats that are tighter, and when you've got bangs and stuff, it's very annoying. You look terrible when you wear a hat. So this has got a bigger brim and it's slouchy, and it just would be nice to keep my head warm but not be totally tight fitting. And so I had bought this yarn a while ago and knew I was going to do these two colors for this hat, and I kitted it up in a project bag. And
your fancy project bag.
Yeah, with the needles and everything in here. And so I did get started. The brim that I'm doing is going to be black, and both my yarns are from Fancy Image. She is a hand dyer down. She used to be local to us, and now she lives in
that's pretty.
Nevada.
Very
but,
very striking, kind of dramatic looking.
Yeah. So this is the brim, and the brim is 4 inches of 2x2 rib. Then you can fold it. So it's double, so it's thicker. And then the rest of the hat's just stockinette stitch around and around and around and around until it's as slouchy as you want. So I just decided that I was going to bite the bullet and start this project because I've been wanting a hat. And I bought kind of a gray dress coat last year.
So pretty.
I wanted a hat that would go with that. Plus, when I do eventually buy another casual coat, I want it to be gray. So basically, I've done this much of the ribbing.
Pretty.
But I love her black. It's got some variegation in it. The tonal. I guess it's a tonal, but it's not straight black.
Yeah.
So I worked on that. Actually, on the beach, I just stuck this in my coat pocket and I sat on a piece of driftwood and knit while Dad was looking for some smaller pieces of driftwood to take home, even though it's illegal.
To take home to your house?
Yeah, but he's got a project in mind. Yeah. But if you drive around down there, everybody that lives down there's got a yard full of driftwood. So we don't take that much. We took some little pieces. So I knit, he beach cooked, and then we went on to we were on one beach that, because it's the place we went is right on the beach, right on the coast. And then you go down this spit and then you curve around and there's kind of a bay. And so we were on a beach in the bay, so it's more protected. It's not as windy. And so we drove onto the other beaches because you can drive on those ones, and kind of drove around where we saw piles of wood because it was too cold to get out and look. Plus,
threw them in. Threw them in the car like a crazy person.
Yeah. I don't think anybody cared. I think we took 4 pieces. Anyway. Okay, so my other project that I did say I was going to start is a Free Your Fade shawl. Where did mine go? And I mean, it's just a tiny start. But I started it. Oh
yeah.
I started it in the car. But isn't that yarn just so pretty?
That's really pretty. Is that the yarn that you got? Well, no, you had this yarn, you said, kind of kitted up.
I did. I actually ended up going, because this pattern, hello? Did you get my potatoes? And my Crisco? Okay, that'll Cash App you. Okay, so I did pull 3 colors out because this shawl fades in and out of 3 different colors. And so these are the ones I picked. And I've had these for a while. These were all indie dyed yarns. I'm going to hold them up here.
Oh, pretty.
This looks brown, but it's kind of an eggplanty brown. It's not as brown as it looks in this picture. But there's brown undertones. And anyway, that's what I'm going to do. It's got eyelets in it. It's by Andrea Mowry on Ravelry. It is not a free pattern. And it's called Free Your Fade. She has a Find Your Fade, which is huge. I talked about that last week. Too huge. I didn't want a shawl that big. And then there's Find Your Fade, Free Your Fade, and there's another fade one. I can't remember what she calls it. So anyway.
Follow Your Fade, I think. Follow
Your Fade, maybe, yeah. So this one is the one I picked. So I did that. And then that's all I really knit on, but I did buy souvenir yarn while I was there. And I was going to show this too, because this is something that's going to come back for this week for me. There was a gal that, so there's scrappy blankets were all the rage. There's like mitered square blankets for all your scrappy yarns. You could do DK, you could do fingering. I have a ton of fingering weight scrappy yarn, but I never liked the mitered square. I never could do it very well. My squares just didn't turn out very well. And so this gal came out with another version, a different kind of blanket called the Northeasterly, and it's join as you go. And so I started this a few years ago. No, like a year. Yeah, about 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I haven't worked on it very much. But those were all just scrappy little,
Said I love that.
Yeah. I've got a long way to go to make it a blanket. Yeah. But
right now the table brother.
Yeah. Now that fall is here, I feel like pulling this out again. So
that's really pretty. It seems like one of those things you might just keep on your coffee table and
Yeah.
Pick it up and work on it a little bit at a time.
Right. Also, I think in the past I've kept it like in my tote bag when I go out. I take knitting with me in my car every time I go anywhere in case my car breaks down and I'm bored. So that comes from the fact that I used to drive a lot of really old cars that used to break down. So I'm traumatized for life. So I always have knitting in the car. And so that would be one of the things that would just easily, because it's not very big yet. So, but it's called the Northeasterly Blanket. It is not free anymore, but it's not very expensive. And you can do it in different weights. You could do DK weight, you can do fingering weight. But it's a nice alternative to that scrappy blanket.
Sorry, I'm just making a note so I can find it. I'll remember to find it to put it in the notes.
Yeah, it's not hard.
Thankful.
Once you get going on it, it's not hard.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Do you have haul? Because I don't.
Do. You don't have haul? Okay, I have haul. No. And I'll start with my knitting haul.
Yeah, no, I don't have any haul. I didn't shop at all this week.
Oh, so down at the ocean, up the road from where we were staying is a little town, little like community that's just gorgeous. New big homes, a lot of them are rentals. But there's like a little trendy little urban downtown area, and a lady opened a yarn shop in there a couple of years ago, and I went in there, and it turns out that they retired down to that area, and she used to live about 3 blocks from where I live now. So I was thrilled that she's still in business. You know, you just don't know what's been happening, and actually some of the businesses down on the coast actually had their best summers ever because people were going down there. So I have to buy souvenir yarn. And this is by a hand dyer in a town just up the road from her, but called Little Fish Stitches. And it is called Happy Go Lucky.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that pretty?
That is pretty.
And then she also, I think she made these because it's got her logo on it, like a little notions bag.
Oh, cute.
Got a little zipper.
Oh, that's really cute.
Isn't that cute? So I bought that, and I bought a little something as a gift for a friend of mine that I'm going to send to her that I won't show because I don't know if she watches this or not. And so that was my knitting haul, but I did have haul, and I actually have haul that I think I forgot to show last week because I don't think I pulled it. I had talked about the Cricut collection and the seasonal patterns, and I wanted winter, and it was out of stock on 123 Stitch, and I finally found it. It wasn't that hard to find actually on other sites. So I did get winter because it was the only one I was missing.
Last one, yeah, that's cute.
And I am going to do them on a pretty small count of fabric so I can make them into long skinny pillows. I just think they're adorable. Steph, who watches us, is doing the autumn one. She shows it on her Instagram. She's Mrs. Crown. On 7th or something like that. And so she's been doing that. And then this one just made me laugh. It's from Stacy Nash Primitives. And I had never seen it before. And you know, you can't just order one pattern when you order a pattern. It's called Turkey Hollow Farm. Picture, so it's going to be glary.
Cute. That's really
and, you know, I'm sure it's one of those ones. I haven't even looked at the pattern. It's probably huge.
Probably.
And, you know, when I look at these things and I buy them, it's like I have blinders on and I don't see those borders. I'm like, look at how cute that is. It's just so adorable. I just love it. And then I get it and I'm like, oh my gosh, look at that border, which is what makes it look cute.
Yes, that's a big part of it.
Hey, at least I'm consistent. And then she sent along, who did I order these from? Hollis Hands Creates is an Etsy shop. Hollis, Hollis, Hands, Hands, Create, Hands Create. And she sent along this, she sells these like little project information cards.
Cute.
So if you don't have like a journal, which I need to go back to starting that again. I really just want to have a project journal. So I had gotten those last week. I also jumped on the bandwagon because I love this magazine and I should ask for a subscription for Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah, Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. They always do a bigger episode. They do a bigger episode for Christmas.
Oh, it's nice and long.
And there's glare on there, but can you see?
Mm-hmm.
So that, I think that's Priscilla and Chelsea. No.
I don't. Maybe, but it doesn't look like
that's Luminous Fiber Arts. And it's got some cute, that's Stitching with the Housewives pattern for it. Which is cute.
Like they're although the buffalo check does look like them.
Kind of screaming them.
For sure, that's what Liddy's. I'm picturing her shirt now, and it definitely.
Yeah. So I did the other day when I went out to my Hobby Lobby. I went to the cross stitch store, and I did buy the threads for this. I don't know the simplicity of it. I just loved it. I don't even know why. It's called Christmas Boughs.
Oh, that's pretty.
So it's a pine cone and then different boughs, and
I like how it's just made too. That's pretty.
Yeah, I loved it. It looks simple, and it does use it only used DMC. So I bought the flosses at Hobby Lobby, and I bought some fabric at the cross stitch store that I'm gonna have to. It's a little more solid gold, so I'm gonna dump it in tea to kind of tone it down a little bit. So that was one of my favorite ones in here, and then there was one other one that I was really tempted to get the stuff to buy, but I have another piece similar to it that I got when you and I went to your little store. Remember I bought that winter piece? I bought all those flosses for it.
Kind of. I'm forgetting what one.
Yeah, I'd have to pull it again. You'd recognize it if I brought it out, but this is, hold on, sorry. There's a lot packed into this magazine, and they do an equal number really of punch needle and cross stitch, which I really like, even though I would never do I did like this winter cardinal too.
That's pretty. Oh.
Kind of simple. I'm getting there. Where is it? Where are you, little winter peaceful look? This one, just called Winter's Peace.
Oh.
You see the snow?
Oh, it's twirly. Yeah, that's pretty. Oh.
It is by Teresa Miller of Teresa's Primitive Treasure. So that one may be in my future some year. I do really love it, and that you could leave up all January and February. So that was part of my haul, and you know, Annie's Attic. No, it's not Annie's Attic. The gal that is behind this publication, she has a Facebook group that I joined, and so she puts messages out when an episode drops.
You mean issue?
I've been watching a lot of TV. An issue drops, and then subscribers get them way faster than the stores do, but Etsy shops sign up, and so I got this on an Etsy shop, and I got it right away. Like I ordered it, and it was here within 3 or 4 days. So
Polar bear, by the way, that top.
That's a punch needle.
Oh, that's gorgeous.
I know.
Make a punch needle pattern though, and just make it into a cross stitch.
Well, if you had a grid and you wanted to.
I guess I don't really know what a punch needle pattern looks like, and you can't really show it.
Looks like this.
Oh, it's not like gridded.
No, it's you trace it and then you punch in.
Okay.
I know. There's been several that I've seen that I thought that'd be a really cute cross stitch project. So I got that. I also ordered. So there is a website. I talked about it. Called. Oh, their name isn't on here. Cross Stitch Stash. It's a website, and they carry a lot of really old patterns and design for all different kinds of designers, mostly old stuff. And I went on there and looked around, and I found a couple of things, and they were like $5. This I kind of threw in there because I think it was even less than $3. But it was just a simple alphabet. I don't know. I thought that might be nice to have for something. I don't know what. But then I also ordered this from Country Collage. Oh. I just thought it was cute.
That's cute.
I might change the colors up a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And then I ordered, this is the one I really, really wanted. And this is by Val's Stitch and Stuff.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah, that is cute.
Oh, can you see the man in the moon, the face?
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anyway, that's what I really wanted. So But they were all so cheap that I thought I'll just get them all 3 of them. And then I did order from somebody else. Where did I order from? It was another Etsy shop. Oh well. Must be another room. I ordered some more fabric. Just some brownish.
Pretty.
Well, it's a 25 count Lugana. I think I had a project in mind for this.
But you don't know what.
I don't know what. I don't know. Anyway.
Who knows? It could have been any number of projects. You get enough new charts every week.
And you know, I have my SAL all ready to start on a rustic Ada.
Yeah.
Fabric kind of smells. I actually might like this better. I did it on this, well, when I show it, I did it because it will kind of match the other one that I've done.
The Barbara Borgeau SAL?
Yeah.
Do you want to put in our first stitches during the episode or no?
Well, I have them all ready to go, but now I might want to do it on this fabric instead.
Oh,
anyway, the last thing I ordered, because I saw this and I thought, oh, if I don't order this, even though I won't stitch it right away, her patterns go in and out of print. And it's Brenda Gervais, and it's Cold Outside.
Oh, it's like.
Uh-huh.
Ooh, it's like.
Bobby for Pumpkins. Yeah. And I just thought, okay, I love it enough. Sorry for that Band-Aid. That's really ugly. That I just thought I'm just going to get it. I'm just going to break down and get it because I know I will stitch it someday.
That's really cute.
Not this year.
That little snowman, is that checkered? Like pants or skirt or whatever?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, that looks like a pain to stitch.
Look, there's no borders.
2, skip 2, 2, skip 2. I mean, it probably isn't that big a deal, but.
It looks like it's 2, 1, 2, 1.
Oh, I guess it's not really that big a deal.
It's cute. And I don't know, I saw somebody stitching and I thought, oh, if I don't get it, I'll forget about it. And then someday I'm going to want it and it's going to be out of print.
Yeah.
So I thought, just buy it. I was already spending money anyway. But why did I order this fabric?
I won't tell Dad that you ordered something and you don't know why.
What have I been talking about starting?
This. The Barbara Borgeau, but that's not, you already had fabric for that, you said.
I did, but now I'm rethinking this fabric is so stiff. It's like cardboard.
The Ada?
Yeah.
Switch it?
I think I'm going to switch it. I'll make sure this is a big enough piece. I'm sure it is. This is just an 18 by 21 rustic oatmeal. If I had soaked it and then dried it, maybe it would soften up. But
if you did like even eucalyptus or something in it to sort of soften up the fibers.
Yeah, but this is 18.
I'm doing mine. It's pretty stiff.
Let me look real quick. I'm going to do quick just to see how big it will be on this 25 count. Because that was another thing. I'm wanting it to be a certain size, and I think that might be why I went with the Ada. Because I don't want it to be too big. I don't want it to be a hard thing to frame.
Yeah. Are you doing cross-stitch calculator right now? Do you want me to do it for you?
Yeah. You have it open?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, folks. You want to pause it while we do this? Or do people want to hear this? Ooh. Okay. I think I just ordered it. I don't think I have a big piece that I'm saving that I need to dye for my pandemic that I want to start before the first of the year because I want it to go on my whip go. So.
I'm recording again, by the way.
Huh?
I'm recording again, by the way.
Okay. So yeah, I think while we put you guys on pause, we decided I'm going to do my Barbara Borgeau SAL piece, which is Sleigh Ride, which is a terrible picture.
I know.
I have a hard time, huh?
Yeah, even if you had good lighting, I think it would be really difficult to see.
Yeah, it's basically a dad and a child standing behind a sled with a mom and a baby in it, and they've got their little tree in there.
It's going to be so cute.
And so I think this is, right, 8 by 10. Yeah, this is the winner. So this fabric that I just got is just, huh?
Stitch now? Woohoo!
Hold on, let me find my center. It's so scientific.
Yeah.
The color I'm putting in.
Yeah, I think I'll start in the middle too. I don't usually. Yeah. I don't think this fabric.
937. Not my favorite green, but I think it's got so many colors of green in this tree that it's going to be cool.
Okay. Down the middle of my fabric.
Okay, sorry, I got to change glasses because I can't stitch with those on.
Okay. This is, so we can explain what we're doing. So we've been talking for a few weeks about how we're going to start a Barbara Borgeau-Richards pattern together along with Heather Miller, and her Instagram is HPX Stitch, I think. And I had it correct. I looked it up last week to make sure, and so I'll put it again in our comment box below, in our description box below, but I decided to start this one. And I'm totally changing the colors so that they look like, it's like not even remotely the same. I don't really dislike purple, but I just don't really use purple in decorating. So I switched quite a bit to get rid of the purple and do more blues and reds on mine. There's a little bit of pink still in my plan. Sorry, let me. And I'm so organized. It's amazing. Here.
Here's mine.
Some people's Flosstubes, they show their all their classic color works for their pattern, and they hold it up and they kind of run their fingers oh, yeah. It's so beautiful. Here's my floss for this.
Here's mine.
Can you see? It's going to be really pretty. I lost a couple on the floor.
Okay. I do have floss away bags coming today. These are going in floss away bags.
Each individual one for your project?
Mm-hmm.
I can't make this look pretty.
No.
What I did.
No, you can't.
Here's the colors.
I even have my list of colors that I had to buy at the store. Here.
I don't think
a little prettier there.
That's pretty. Yes, yours looks better than mine.
Not really. I do have to say though, I am changing this one out. I looked at this with all the other colors. My pattern has a star, a couple places where there's stars, and it's this bright yellow. That's not happening.
Is it 745?
No, it's 444.
Oh.
I mean, it's an okay color, but it doesn't go with the rest of this color palette.
Yeah, whereas I brightened all my colors up so much from this. Much more vibrant greens and red. The barn is going to be a darker variegated.
Yeah. Hey, do you still have that cross stitch calculator up?
Oh yeah.
Just tell me again with the. She doesn't say which one is width and which one is length.
Well, which does it look wider or taller?
I can't tell on this one. I think it probably looks taller because of the border.
So I would say it's 176 high by 161 wide is what I would think your design is.
Well, I should do my fabric going.
So if you have a Barbara Borgeau pattern laying around or you want to get one at any point, this is just going to be an ongoing SAL. We're going to use the hashtag BBRXStitchSAL. Is that what we decided? BBR, yeah. Barbara Borgeau-Richards SAL. You can use that on that's where I'll use it, is on Instagram, maybe Facebook.
Well, but right now Instagram isn't letting you look at tags still.
Oh, still? I haven't looked.
Yeah. Well, they weren't last night because I was going to look at our Stitch and Stuff tag and I couldn't. It wouldn't pull up anything new.
Can I start with the flower base or the green tree leaf border, the green leafy border? I think I'll start with the
Wait. Show it again.
The base of flowers. I think that's what I'm going to start on, and then I'll work outward. Yeah. Are you ready to put in a stitch?
Oh yeah, I just have to get the right glasses on again. Sorry, I can't see you, but then I can't stitch. Okay, I'm putting my first stitch in right now.
Me too. Hooray! Hooray!
It's a green.
Mine is the red, the DMC variegated red that I've never used.
Oh.
I already have a knot. Can you believe it?
Are you already?
Yes.
I cut my thread kind of long.
There, got my knot out. Oh, good. That was less traumatic than I thought. Okay, well, I thought I had my first stitch in. Then I had to take it out, undo my knot. But this variegated is so pretty on this red.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Another knot. That fast.
I think those tend to be a little knotty.
Well,
they're a little different. I would definitely use shorter lengths.
Yes, I think I will from now on because my first stitch already had 2 knots. Okay, put my first one in.
Okay, here's mine. My first little green stitch right there. But I'm not going to keep going here because that would be tedious for our viewers. But anyway, our SAL is now kicked off.
Officially started. Here's mine. It's red. It's the vase. Oh. It's the top of the flowers in the vase of flowers on the table.
Mine is a green in the middle of this tree right here.
Cute.
Gonna be.
And then while I was waiting for you to come back, I found on Instagram, Heather had posted and tagged us as well because she started her sweethearts today.
Which I have hanging in my house.
So, I know, I love that one too. That's really cute.
It is probably one of my favorite ones.
Can you believe that I finally got work done on my Hawk Run Hollow and I forgot to show it earlier?
No.
Pull it out. So I was so excited to show it because I was really proud of my progress. Up till now I had the sun mostly outlined, and this week I did a lot of work on trying to fill it in as much as I could, and then maybe I'll work on it.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't seem like that significant, but that was like a whole evening with several hours of stitching to get that done. I think after I finish that sun, I'm going to go over and do the letters for the Light Your Way cover.
Yeah. If you've not done a Hawk Run Hollow, you might not understand how much stitching goes into those little tiny things.
Yeah, a lot on that one square.
I think I might pull Christmas out tonight. Christmas with Hawk Run Hollow.
Work on that. You meant you were going to put up your Christmas decorations.
Oh, no. I love Christmas, and I'm a little bit extra when it comes to that. One of our viewers' kids call her extra. I would say I'm a little extra, but I can't do Thanksgiving with Halloween with Christmas decorations up. It just doesn't seem right.
I said the same thing to Jessie today, that I think I'm going to do Christmas decorations the day after Thanksgiving. Usually it's like the week after sometime, but it might be the next day this year.
I almost always do it the day after, or the Saturday after, because it's a long weekend for me, and it takes a full day to really take fall down and pack it up nice and get Christmas up. So yeah, I think my future plans are just going to be working on this Christmas piece, our SAL, working on my Hawk Run Hollow Christmas, probably for Merry Monday and Winter Wednesday. I have another winter piece going.
Button up.
Button up.
Button up. Yeah,
I'll still work on button up. And I kind of have been splitting my evenings up with like 2 different projects. On the nights that I stay up late. Now that I'm going back to work tomorrow, I might not be able to do that as much. But I have been trying to just do a little bit on 2 projects every night to keep moving on some of them.
Yeah.
And I'll probably work on Things of Autumn because that's just moving along pretty good.
Yeah. I would like to finish that little ornament, a little Christmas ornament for the girls, have it all stitched, and start thinking about how I'm going to fully finish those.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to, I'll probably kind of just keep with the hashtags because that seems like a good way for me to get my hands on several projects.
Uh-huh.
And I would love to finish that sweater in autumn Things of Autumn.
Yes.
Sun in my Hawk Run Hollow. If I can get that sun done, I feel like that's just kind of a weird hurdle in my mind. I think it was kind of tedious to stitch because it was so delicate.
Yeah.
I have to use the magnifier to do it very skillfully in the night. So those are plans for sure, I think, and finishing that hood that I'm knitting.
Yeah.
We have.
Did the other gal get hers?
What?
Did that other gal ever get hers that you were shipping?
I haven't heard back. I checked back in with her. So I got an order from somebody in Austria who said theirs hadn't arrived still several weeks later. But she hasn't responded to my last couple messages. So I'm hoping that just means that it arrived because I offered that I would just make her a new one for just the cost of shipping. But she hasn't responded. So that makes me think it maybe came. This week will be kind of strange. So Lydia's birthday is Tuesday. And I need to figure out, we were thinking we might have a couple friends over Thursday, but now with more restrictions kind of coming down, we're not sure what to do. One of the families has COVID anyways that she wanted to invite over, so that's already out. Yeah, so it's so, I mean, I think it's getting like that everywhere, but it's really bad here again. So we're kind of hunkering down. So I'm kind of trying to think of ways to make her day really, really special.
No, and that's part of what I was telling Dad. I think that is so hard. I told him, I said, I think I'm feeling, and I haven't even had to do it. I don't have little kids, but just in general, I feel like there's this constant feeling and thought, how are we going to make this special? How are we going to make this event special in light of this? How are we going to change everything so that people feel special, or that we can be together, or that we can, and I think that's just what's wearing people down, is that we're running out of ways to make things special. I think sometimes, I think we feel that way. And I think that contributes to that fatigue they keep talking about, is the constant refiguring everything, or how to go to the grocery store. You know, how much time do I have? I can't just run in and run out because I'm going to be in line to get in, and it's pouring down rain. So I'm not even sure, you know, it was, I don't know. I think that's what wears people down, is the constant planning and rethinking even basic things. So doing a birthday party, that's hard because, you know.
Yeah. So we were just going to have 2 little friends and then the neighbor friend over. Maybe we hadn't even gotten all the way through the planning stages because things kind of fell up in the air. So I do feel like this is temporary, so we can get through it. But yeah, so I'm trying to think what creative ways, we're creative people, we'll come up with ways to make it feel really exciting and special for her, even if it's not the way we originally wanted it to be. So if you have great ideas for how to make an 11-year-old's birthday really special during quarantine, we would love, maybe we even have viewers who had that experience last spring. Let us know. I mean,
and not a drive-by one. Drive-by birthdays I don't think make things feel special, and
so far out, like,
yeah, and it wouldn't work for you guys anyway.
We drive by are the handful of people that we'd probably feel safe inviting over. So,
yeah.
But most of her little friends are not in our like close quarantine type pod. That's kind of what we think of. We have like a few families that we continued to get together with through the spring that we knew were handling things in a safe way. And anyways, so we do, one of the little girls that she wanted over is our neighbor who we have seen all, like kind of most of the way through quarantine. So I have a feeling that and they play together every day. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably see pictures of her, my friends' kids. So I think maybe we'll have her over and still maybe do a special. We were going to do an American Girl themed tiny little celebration. And I was thinking about doing, like, making a little doll quilt or something. So maybe we could still do that with just the one friend and make that feel really special because of the activities that we're doing. Like, they could go home with a little tiny 9-patch quilt or something that we tie. I thought that would be kind of fun. And maybe with 2, I could actually do it. With 4, it was sounding a little daunting.
Sewing would be a little daunting with 4.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure we were going to do that, but that was just one of the ideas I was throwing around, and I'm kind of leaning back towards it if it's just going to be her and the other little girl. So I don't know. I'm not sure. If you have ideas, I'd love to hear them. Birthdays are usually a really big deal in our family. We usually celebrate them on the day of, and then we usually have some friends or family over to celebrate another day. My hairband was starting to break and come out, so I feel like my hair is...
You know, we were supposed to go over next weekend, but now I don't know.
I know. Nobody really knows what we're going to do.
I have never in my life sent my girls their birthday presents.
Yeah.
Never. So.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see.
Yeah.
So on that cheery note, we do have giveaways.
We do. Woo! Did you draw a winner for last week's already?
Oh yeah, we do have a winner. Let me make sure I have the name right. I forgot to write it down.
Cute little heart and hand home away.
Yes.
I didn't bring mine in. That's done, but
I think
it looks just like that. It's not. Mine's not fully finished.
It is the winner of Wii Santa 2018 from last week's comments was Sue Allen, who commented that they've already had a lot of snow in Montana. And I know some people love snow, some people hate snow. I love snow up through like late January and then I'm done with it. So I'm jealous. I would love to have some snow.
I know, me
So we
too.
will get that. Sue, go ahead and email us at our email address in the description box below, and we will get that sent out to you as soon as we can. We're not quite caught up on giveaways. I know I've sent out the ones on my end that I've heard back from people, and you had just one left, I think.
I have Walrus still to go, but it should go out tomorrow. So, and I forget the sweet person that won it because she emailed us.
Yeah.
It's the one whose kids think a little extra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Drawing a blank, but it's coming. It will come out and go out tomorrow. So
Isn't
this
it
little guy.
Is that right?
Huh?
Isn't it Colleen?
Yes, I think so. Tennant? Is it Colleen Tennant?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so then we have 2 giveaways for this week.
Yes, we do. Woo-hoo. Do you want me to go first? So I flashed this a little earlier today. So the girls have been working hard because they wanted to give some little pot holders away. So we're going to give these a set of 3 away to a lucky winner, woven by Liddy and Millie. And they are really proud of these. And I am too, because I think the colors are really stunning. Like they've been doing a fun job coming up with different patterns and colors, and like this one's more checkered.
They really remind me of Thanksgiving, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
They look like Indian corn to me.
Yeah, actually they do look like that decorative corn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's really pretty. So we will give those away to one lucky winner. I was going to let them choose what the hashtag was, and I don't know if they ever did. So, or not the hashtag, but the comment, the word to use. So maybe just fall or pot holders? What should we do? Or do you have another idea?
Not fall, because fall might come up for other comments. I would say cooking.
Cooking. Okay. Yeah. Tell us something that you're cooking in the comments for Thanksgiving or for your family this week or something. Just use the word cooking. COOKING. Cooking.
Yeah.
Okay. Cooking.
Okay. So when I went out to my needlework store to get fabric, I found this cute JBW design. It's not very big, but it's adorable.
Oh.
It's a red Christmas tree that says peace. Oops, it's kind of blurry, but it says peace on earth.
Mm-hmm. Joy at the top.
Joy at the top. I love how they finished it.
Yeah, that's pretty.
And it really is just a little, it's not very big. It's 51 by 75, so it wouldn't take very long to stitch.
Does it call for one color? Is it all one red?
2 reds. Raspberry and dark raspberry. What are these?
You could use any 2 reds that you like.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out what flosses they used.
It doesn't say.
Symbol. The fabrics and fibers. The begonia fiber. Well, that is weird.
Huh. Does it have just the name of those colors?
Yeah. Oh, Classic Colorworks. Sorry, right there in front of my face.
Oh.
Well, the raspberry is Classic Colorworks. Maybe they both are. But yeah, you can find 2 reds that you like.
Or use the called for.
Or use the called for.
That's so cute. I love that Scandinavian look.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was a cute, quick little ornament. It would be easy to stitch up and have ready to go or make it a little frame. So I think the hashtag for that should be tree.
Okay, so tree and cooking. If you're interested in one or both of those, leave a comment using those words in your comment on this video. That's all I've got.
That's all I've got. We did our plans.
Yep.
Gotta go figure out something for dinner.
Yeah, I'm making a lentil curry with ginger. That sounds really good.
Sounds good. We make pancakes and bacon. I don't know. I didn't make a menu plan out.
Well, that's your problem.
Well, yeah. We knew that there were going to be mandates coming down and that there'd be toilet paper hoarding and food hoarding, which has already happened in our state in a matter of just 3 days. So on our way home from the ocean, we stopped off to do the weekly shopping. Plus, it was nice to get it done and then come home and be home. But I didn't really make a menu plan. I just kind of went and bought what I normally buy because I make some of the same things, you know.
Yeah.
Staples, spot staples and produce, but I got to figure out what I want to do tonight.
Yeah.
Don't know. I'd rather go back to the ocean and have unlimited crab legs again.
Yeah, or clam chowder or anything.
I know.
Clam chowder.
That
Okay.
sounds, yeah, anyway. Yeah, and if you have some wonderful, yummy fall comfort foods, you might want to put that in your cooking comment because we're always looking for new recipes.
Yeah, especially if you have like a link to it. Mm-hmm. We are kind of adventurous. Don't cook the same thing over and over kind of people. We like to try new
things. I like to change it up. I mean, I have staples that I make. But yeah, okay. Well,
thanks for watching.
Next week, it'll be the week before Thanksgiving already. Ooh.
Whoa, crazy. And we will be back then to chat more.
Have a great week. Happy stitching. Stay well. Stay safe. We love you.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.
See you then.